Here with reaction, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham is with us. Senator, welcome back. There's not a single thing I can point to that the Democrats can run on and say we've been successful here, there, or anywhere. They seem to have now locked into an extreme position on abortion and even supporting doxing these Supreme Court justices. Now, Wednesday of this week, we are expecting a Chuck Schumer vote to codify Roe. Do we know the language in that bill? How extreme is it?
Well, it doesn't codify Roe. What it would do is allow abortion to be had right up to the moment of birth. That's not Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade says the state can regulate abortion after viability of the fetus is about 23 to 24 weeks. This goes well beyond Roe. So their answer to Roe v. Wade being potentially repealed is to nationalize a law that allow abortion right up to the moment of birth. That's pretty extreme. This will be a referendum on Joe Biden's economic and national security policy. It won't be a referendum on Roe v. Wade. The election in 2022 will be decided about you can't buy a baby formula. I bet 100% of Americans believe that if you have a baby and you bring a baby in the world, you should be able to buy formula. Well, there's a crisis when it comes to baby formula. You can't fill up your gas tank. I spent $65 filling up my gas tank today, and it was 3/4. And that was just 3/4. The border's broken. This is going to be a referendum on Biden, not Roe v. Wade. Three things should happen here. Joe Biden should look the camera in the eye and tell every protester, leave the judge's home alone. You're committing a crime. It is illegal to go try to intimidate a judge who's hearing a case at their home like it would be a juror. Joe Biden needs to say that. We all asked Trump to tell the protesters to leave the Capitol. President Biden, here's what I want you to do. I want you to get on television and tell these people to leave the judges alone because they're committing their crime. I'd like to see Pelosi and Schumer fall in the same stead.
The problem with your advice is that ship has sailed. The administration has already said people are free to protest in front of Supreme Court justices' homes. So they've already given their tacit approval.
Well, number two, I'm going to write a letter tomorrow to the Attorney General Garland and ask him what is his interpretation of law. There's a law in the books that prevents judges from being harassed and picketed while they're deciding a case. Same for a juror. They're literally violating the law. They violated the law when they went into the Capitol. Trespassing in the Capitol, taking matters in their own hands. Everybody yelled at Trump, tell him to leave. Well, here's what I'm telling President Biden. Tell these people to leave the judges alone. Don't go to their home. This is illegal. It's wrong. It's bad for America. It will break the court. Joe Biden needs to step up and take matters into his own hands and, as President of the United States, speak forcefully to these people who are intimidating judges, try to get an outcome in a case which violates our law. Attorney General Garland, you need to issue an opinion tomorrow saying that the activity in front of the judge's house violates the law.
Well, I'd like the Attorney General to weigh in. I'd like the FBI Director Wray to weigh in. I'd like the DHS Secretary who said just last week that domestic terrorism was the biggest threat society has. Don't you think it's a little bit dangerous allowing people to show up in front of the homes of Supreme Court justices when they're facing an important decision? Isn't that intimidation, harassment, and the type of thing I think the law is very clear it shows is illegal?
Well, it's illegal to go into the Capitol. We all agree with you and I and everybody else with a half a brain said, leave the Capitol. This is not the way to deal with an election. So, President Biden, you have an opportunity here to get people to stand down before somebody gets hurt. What they're doing, President Biden, is a violation of the law. You need to speak up. Attorney General Garland, you need to issue an opinion tomorrow telling these people they're in violation of the law. If they keep doing it, they're going to jail. If you don't do that, then you're giving cover to illegal behavior.
I think the president should have been the one to do it, and he passed on it multiple times. So I would argue anything that does happen, he's responsible for. It's amazing. They didn't care about the riots in 2020. They don't care about this. They only cared about the one riot, and because they could bludgeon somebody else. But they forgot the important part. Donald Trump authorized the use of National Guard troops, and the people that had the authority to call them up didn't call them up that day. Senator, thank you.
Can I add one other thing? He said,
yes, sir.
He said leave. He told them to leave the Capitol. Well, Biden tell them to leave the judges alone at home. Do what Trump did. He told them to leave. You need to tell them to leave.
All right, Senator, thank you.